Last night, Elon Musk filed a lawsuit against Media Matters. We also learned that last night, Trump's Truth Social will be suing 20 news organizations for defamation after misreporting $73 million in losses, which is not true. Now, this, my friends, may be one of the most consequential moments in the history of the internet. And to be completely serious, this is a historic moment. The battle for the internet has begun, and it appears we are dealing with the U.S. government attempting to control narrative by manipulating big tech and social media. Right now, with Elon Musk's lawsuit against Media Matters, it would appear there is a coordinated effort to destroy the X platform. It would appear there is a coordinated effort to destroy Truth Social. Why? They cannot allow narrative control to exist outside of the deep state's confines. I'll keep it simple for you. We are well past the point of conspiracy theory. We know these things are factual. We know for a fact, based on members of Congress releasing the information, the U.S. government was coordinating with private groups to censor American citizens. We know, thanks to the leaks from whistleblowers, as well as from Elon Musk himself after purchasing X, that the U.S. government had been coordinating with executives at big tech to silence and censor Americans to manipulate U.S. elections. These are facts. These are not in dispute. I will say it again. These are now historical record facts. They were attempting to manipulate. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say attempt. Twitter, before Elon Musk, was in direct communication with the U.S. government to remove certain information. They removed the story about Hunter Biden's laptop. Facebook and Twitter made it difficult to share, if not impossible. And now, just the other day, Joe Biden announced that they were on Threads. Interesting. I think I can tell what's happening here. Let's start with Trump's lawsuit against MSNBC, Reuters, and 18 other news organizations. How is it that all of these news outlets reported the same fake news at the exact same time? Why does it matter that they reported a false loss for Truth Social? Truth Social is part of a SPAC, Special Purpose Acquisition Company. I believe that's what it's called. It's publicly traded. This means that if you're someone who has purchased stock in this company, if you heard in the press repeated 20 times that they were suffering a massive loss, you may actually rush to sell your stock, thus attempting to destroy the company. Now, according to Trump's lawsuit, the document cited by these media organizations, in no place anywhere does it actually have this number. It would seem that 20 news organizations coordinated a false story at the same time. Why? Well, for the purpose of destroying any rival to the deep state U.S. intelligence agency controlled media narrative. Elon Musk was not having it with Twitter, so he decided to buy it, and they lost their minds. The Twitter files then exposed U.S. government manipulation of social media to control information in the United States. Right now, with Elon Musk's lawsuit being launched at the same time, get this, the same time that Elon Musk is launching the lawsuit, CNN publishes a story about a Jewish man suing him for defamation. Guess which story appears first on Google? Maybe not for everybody, but for me, which I find quite hilarious. Now, does this mean that Google is in on it? Well, we know for a fact that YouTube has censored information in the past that was critical of the CIA. I know because I was subjected to it. There was a big story. Yeah, and for the sake of making sure this information gets out, we won't poke the bear too much. But there was a certain individual you could not name. I covered breaking news from a NewsGuard certified news agency. And all of a sudden, I get a notification. Someone messages me saying, hey, Tim, your video's gone. Turns out YouTube, without notice, without a strike, without explaining why, removed my segment discussing the major breaking news story. Now, normally when YouTube takes down a video, they give you a notice saying, here's why your video was taken down. Not this time. The same thing happened on Facebook. If you named a specific individual who was in the CIA, the post disappeared. Just outright disappeared. This is direct evidence of government collusion to censor speech. Now, typically when it comes to naughty opinions, they can hide behind that, well, you broke the rules and the platform has the rules. But what happens when a CIA employee or staffer or analyst or whatever, whatever they call themselves, what happens when you out a CIA person, when you out CIA assets or personnel? Well, now you didn't break any rules. So what can they do? Quietly and secretly, they began to remove all of this information. And I will say this right now. This lawsuit against Media Matters must move forward. Now it's possible that we see more government collusion because these people are abject evil. They are as evil can be. It may be that the courts just say no because, well, I'm not entirely convinced we get a fair trial here, but we'll see. On top of what we're seeing with these lawsuits, the Attorney General of Texas, so I think we may be on good ground here, has announced a criminal investigation into Media Matters. Oh, this is going to get fun, ladies and gentlemen. Why? It is likely that we will see direct evidence of government collusion with Media Matters to suppress and silence individuals. Chris Pavlovsky of Rumble seems to be joining in the fray with certain statements made on Twitter, now X. This one is going to be big. It is the end of the year, 2023. Next year is going to get wild, and we are now looking at quite possibly some of the most significant legal action seen in our lifetimes. Will we sit back and allow corrupt and evil individuals in the government suppress the right of the American people? Let me make it clear for everybody. We know for a fact that U.S. government employees, even the Biden White House, were in contact with big tech because they wanted people censored. Not allowed to do this. The argument made by the left is they were just, reporting people for breaking the rules. No, these intelligence agencies and law enforcement agencies had backdoor access, direct portals on Facebook and Twitter to send in specific takedown requests. It doesn't matter if you think they were just telling the platforms someone broke the rules. That's still a violation of the Constitution. Here we are. This is all proven factual. And now they're going to try everything in their power to stop Trump from winning in 2024. I'll tell you why I say these people are evil. They are pure evil. They're as evil can be. They believe that they have the right to usurp, to destroy, to infringe upon your rights as a human being. They treat you like a chicken. They think that you are someone to just do work so your labor can be extracted and they can use that to wage wars, to expand their empire and their interests. That's evil. My view is we should be a bit more decentralized. And that means sometimes humans make mistakes and believe stupid things. But so be it. That's the human experience. The right of individuals to live, to explore, to love, to learn, etc. But you see, the people who work for these intelligence agencies and law enforcement agencies that are coordinating with big tech are evil. They believe they're smarter than you. They believe their guiding vision is better than yours, and you should do as they say. You should think as they want. It is time we took back the power from them and restored a government of, for, and by the people. Story number 1, the wrap. Trump sues MSNBC, Reuters, and 18 other news agencies. They say, the lawsuit comes following reports this month that Truth had lost $73 million in 2023. That figure turned out to be incorrect. The company has actually lost $31 million, a substantial difference. It is not clear how the error occurred. The initial $73 million figure was attributed to a securities filing by Digital World Acquisition Corp., which is attempting to merge with Truth Social the next day, all report. The lawsuit filed in Sarasota County. So there you go. It looks like it's not yet in DUAC, but I believe that the intention here was to cause economic harm to anything that could rival big tech. Why is the White House publicly attacking Elon Musk? Why did the White House just promote Threads, a Facebook meta entity? Because they control it. That's a platform where the narrative machine is still in control. The lawsuit filed in Sarasota County, Florida, on behalf of Trump Media and Technology Group, names several major news outlets. There's 20 of them. The lawsuit alleges that the $73 million figure was an utter fabrication. Each defendant in apparent coordination, reported the exact same false number within approximately 24 hours of one another, each citing to a public SEC filing in which the mystery $73 million loss appears nowhere. It was a coordinated effort. I believe it was. And I believe even with the argument that they were I just saw him report it, they're going to have a hard time with this one. I don't see how this can fly. How you can have 20 major media organizations all publish the same fake news. How? They were all citing each other. The problem? They were claiming to cite a filing. And there is where they've fallen into a big problem. Your Honor, we were publicly declaring that we cited an SEC filing, and now they got you. And I'll tell you why. If it said something like it has been reported that Trump's Truth Social lost $73 million, reported by CNN or insert news company, yeah, you might get away with that one. Yep, that's right. CNN let's say they report fake news. And then everyone says, Donald Trump does backflip, reports CNN. That's a fact statement. CNN did report it. And Trump's beef would be with CNN. The problem? These news organizations, according to the lawsuit, all cited the SEC, which means they all claimed a document that does not make a claim did. That is fake news. That is false information. In fact, they've actually defamed the SEC on top of everything else. Not like the U.S. government's going to do anything about it, though. Let's talk about Elon Musk and the war for the internet. Musk sues Media Matters as advertising exodus continues. This is massive. Elon Musk and X, in their lawsuit, claim, as well as many employees have publicly stated this. This is the most brilliant thing. This is hilarious. What did Media Matters do? Okay, here's how Twitter/X works for those that don't know. I know all of you do, but for the sake of the legal argument. You follow me. Guess what? You see my posts. Let's say you follow me and Ian Crossland. And then you're going to see a post from me and a post from Ian. How about that? What would happen then if you intentionally followed, I don't know, like a neo-Nazi, and then you intentionally followed IBM? Your post would literally show an IBM post and a Nazi post. And this is what they allege was done by Media Matters. Media Matters intentionally followed the accounts of extremists and major brands so they could screenshot images of their posts appearing next to each other. Now, what they're saying is, by specifically following these two groups, it ensured that the ads served to them would be from who they followed and then would appear next to extremist content. In fact, they argue no one saw any of these ads served along extremist content. Media Matters engaged in fraud. And it resulted in a massive, massive multi-million-dollar loss, to the point where Ken Paxton of Texas has announced a criminal investigation of Media Matters over this. After a report from Media Matters showed advertisements from major brands appeared next to anti-Semitic posts on X, the company sued Media Watchdog Group and its reporter. The Texas Attorney General Office plans to investigate the nonprofit for potential fraud. No question. I think we can all see it. Elon Musk and employees at X have stated they have the hard data to prove it. The only person who saw this were Media Matters employees, perhaps one other person. They created the circumstance, fabricating a scenario, and then lied to claim the ads were being served in this way. That is massive manipulation, fraud, and tortious interference. But we'll see. Now, here's where things get interesting. Before we get into the most interesting, I want to point out Chris Pavlovsky of Rumble has announced that Media Matters also misrepresented Rumble. Perhaps this will go a little further. One of the more interesting elements, my friends, there was a post last night where someone said any major influencer on X should file an amicus brief or join a class action against Media Matters. Why? How much money do I stand to lose because the advertising has been pulled? A lot. I think I pull in about $2,000 every 2 weeks, $2 to $3,000. Hey, that's a good amount of money. And if just I am losing $4,000 to $5,000 per month, What about the Krasensteins? This is significant. The Krasenstein brothers, prominent liberal personalities, reportedly are pulling in around $25,000 per month in their share of ad revenue because Media Matters manipulated the system, lying to get ads pulled from the platform. It is not just an attack on X. It directly attacks the revenue of individuals like the Krasensteins, like myself, and anyone else who makes money. You see, those people advertise on our posts. By lying about what's going on in X, they got our ads pulled as well. It may be that each and every one of these individuals, should the lawsuit prove to be correct and Elon Musk's statement prove to be true, all of us may have some minor standing to at least file an amicus brief. Is basically us saying like, hey, we were wronged by this as well, and we are in support of X. I'd like to see that happen. Now, in the course of my duties, investigating the story and preparing this segment, I, of course, did my cursory Google search. Google search Elon Musk from an account that is not signed in. The top story that Google presents. Far-right conspiracy theorists accused a 22-year-old Jewish man of being a neo-Nazi. Then Elon Musk got involved. 10 hours ago. That's right. Just after the lawsuit was filed, CNN publishes a story that Google puts at the top of their search results. There is nothing on this beautiful green earth that would convince me it is not a coordinated effort. First, let's take a look at this story. The actual lawsuit took place, I believe was filed over a month ago, a month and a half ago. Why is now CNN running a story a month and a half later? Seriously. Why did CNN publish an old story about Elon Musk? It's coordinated. It's intentional. Look at this, 22-year-old Jewish man. Oh, that's interesting. Did it say that in the headline? Yeah. 22-year-old Jewish man of being a neo-Nazi. Elon Musk got involved. Now, let me show you what CNN says in this story that was published just last night. Ben Brody said his life was going fine. He had just finished college, stayed out of trouble, was prepping for law school. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, Elon Musk used his considerable social media clout to amplify an online mob's misguided rants, accusing him of being an undercover agent in a neo-Nazi group. Here's the actual accusation, which I believe is incorrect and has been incorrect the whole time. There is a group called Patriot Front. Many people believe that Patriot Front itself is a fabrication of the federal government. They do not think it's a neo-Nazi group. The theory from many people is that the group itself was fabricated by the federal government to create a boogeyman. And this man is part of that federal fabrication. I do not believe he is. Y'all got to be careful about just posting a picture and being like, hey, this guy looks like this guy. I think that's stupid. What CNN is claiming, this is really funny. They're claiming that the argument is the neo-Nazi group is real and a Fed was planted inside that group. That's not true at all. CNN's lying. More importantly, Elon Musk actually did not name this person as far as I can tell. Very odd is what Musk responded. Huh? Is that it? What else did Elon Musk say? Elon Musk tweeted a reply in which he said, quote, looks like one is a college student who wants to join the government and another is maybe an Antifa member, but nonetheless a probable false flag situation. Elon Musk's legal team says this case will be dismissed, and he's correct. You know why? Elon Musk never said this guy did this thing. He said, looks like one is a college student who wants to join the government. Now, you made the argument that this is in line with what was said, but please. Anti-slap legislation would throw this out in 2 seconds. He never even said the dude's name. How many college students want to join the government? 1 million? And they're arguing this is what Elon Musk did wrong. That's why CNN didn't actually show what Musk says in the opening paragraph. They say he amplified it by saying something similar. Now, don't get me wrong. It is annoyingly stupid that people are jumping on this story and then saying something like, oh, wow, look, this guy did this thing. Okay, dude, get out of here. Nobody likes Patriot Front. Everyone's trying to call them out. And it's fascinating that the quote unquote right wing conspiracy theory is critical of a neo-Nazi group. Yeah, they don't want to say that either. But let's get back to business. When you search Elon Musk lawsuit on Google right now, what's the first story? Elon Musk, far-right conspiracy theorist. He's being sued by a 22-year-old Jewish man. That's the first one. Don't get me wrong, Google does show the other stories. But how did this story become the number one story related to this? If you were now thinking, oh, I want to look up this lawsuit thing, you would find a completely different story. It's coordinated, no question. I believe that it's very likely that should this move to discovery, I think Ken Paxton's investigation could be significant. You will find that Media Matters directly coordinates with the government. Here's what I imagine what happens. There's some government employees that are sending notes to Media Matters saying, hey, take a look at this, take a look at that. Media Matters then will publish a story after being informed by the government. Yeah, that's unconstitutional. This is the war for the internet right now. It's not just Trump, not just Musk. It is all of us that are being deeply affected by this. Consider Joe Biden, his White House personally targeted Elon Musk in a statement and then announced they were on Threads. It is a coordinated effort from the government. These people are evil. Ken Paxton, take it to the top, man. We have decided enough is enough. And now we're winning. So let me just say, what must we do to vanquish this evil? Exactly what we're already doing. I look forward to the victory in 2024. Shout out to Javier Milei in Argentina. These people are evil and they're routed and they're on the run and they're terrified. You know what they're terrified of? They're going to get locked up for a long time. It's going to get interesting. But you see, what did we do over the past several months? We, as in those who believe in freedom. We have fought for freedom of speech. We've supported people like Elon Musk. We've launched our own companies. You've supported the likes of Rumble, Public Square, Truth Social. And this has resulted in our abilities and foothold growing. It's resulted in the failures of Threads. It's resulted in YouTube even backing down from many of their previously held positions and rules. YouTube used to ban you if you questioned the election. They're losing. The government, their manipulations, these evil individuals are losing. All we must do is stay the course, keep tweeting up storms, keep producing content, keep building the parallel economy, and then we vote. Be wary. This is the important one. Anyone who advocates for violence, fed. This is what they so desperately need, some kind of legitimacy. Here's what's fascinating. I was looking back a few years ago at some of these stories. There was a story that Dave Rubin posted about where he was trying to host Pete Buttigieg on his show. I think it was in 2019 or 2018. And Buttigieg backed out because these far left activists started targeting and harassing Buttigieg's team and they panicked. What's amazing is we're beyond that. We've won. Right now, we had Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks on the Culture War podcast. We are going to have some Democrats, that's right, on the Culture War podcast. They are no longer afraid. The stranglehold of the woke cult and the deep state is breaking. We are winning. Anyone who comes out and attempts violence, advocates for it, they're a fed. I see this on Timcast IRL from time to time. What do I say? We are winning through the machine that in the way we are supposed to win, through lawsuits and by voting. And what we see pop up on YouTube and on Twitter is, no, there's only one thing we must do. Yeah, right. You're a fed and everyone knows it. They are so desperate in their panic. The only thing they can do is try and goad people into acts of vandalism or violence. We ain't buying it. And nobody wants to do any of that stuff. The people of this country, the good people of this country who work hard every day, know better. So you know what I say? Anybody who wants to engage in violence and threats and intimidation and terror, lock them up. Because we don't care for that, and we know we're winning without it. And anybody who wants to do that is a bad person who has nothing to do with anything we want. So when they talk about these groups like Patriot Front, spare me, dude. Everyone hates those guys. We know we're winning. And there's nothing they can do about it. They'll try to censor. They'll try to suppress. They're losing. Some people have asked, why be so overt about it with this overt collusion? Because they're losing. It used to be that they had back doors into Twitter. Then Elon Musk bought the platform and now they're in panic. This was asked last night. Why would Media Matters create fake evidence? It used to be that you could just threaten and people would back down instantly. It used to be that if you found a post that was offensive and showed it to an advertiser, they would panic in fear. But now it's not working as much anymore. So what does Media Matters have to do? Well, presuming that Elon's correct in their data, they must fabricate these circumstances in a desperate bid to try and gain some traction. And it is not working anymore. So my friends, I say this to you. Share videos like this. Become a member at timcast.com. Buy products from companies you support, and we win. It's over. Look at the success of Sound of Freedom, Rich Men North of Richmond, the failures of Bud Light and Target, the failures of the Marvels. Get woke, go broke, baby. We need only stay the course and we win. Let them flail in their panic. 2024 is around the corner. Next segment's coming up at 1 p.m. on the channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.